these together?
I'll just fly through them.
Okay.
We say as we start recording. Take it, Tyler.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and across the interwebs from me is Tad. Hey, Tad, how's it going?
It's going good. End of the school year. Busy, busy, busy.
It is very busy.
Booking
I've
lots of
got,
interviews. We're busy,
do
busy,
you,
busy.
do you guys, so like my son doesn't want to have a graduation party. Like out here, when kids graduate, we have a big party and everybody comes, all their friends come and things like that. Is it different out by you guys?
Um, how to put it? It's not different as much as I think the schools are small enough out there that like everybody has their own graduation party and they all float around.
Yes.
But like my school has 5,000 students.
Yep.
Um, that matter the student or the school I graduated from had I think 3,000. I remember being at a friend's graduation party that his parents had thrown
Hmm.
and like he made it very clear from the get-go. Thank you so much for throwing me this party. I will be leaving at this time to go to somebody else's party.
That happens.
So it's kind of who's going to have the biggest best party. And if it's not me, then I might not care about having a graduation party because I want to be at these other ones.
Okay. So like for Sean, I'm going out there, I'm gonna watch the ceremony, and then I'm taking him out to eat. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And there's at least a chance that like it's going to be one of the shorter dinners that you have because he's already got in the back of the head that, there's a party at Jimmy's and their parents are out of town and they gave us the lake house or whatever.
Actually, they're doing that at prom this weekend.
Well, I mean, but I mean, this is high school. It's not like they don't do both.
Mhm. Yeah, his after graduation plans are to go to a lock-in that night. I guess they're doing
Right.
a senior lock-in at school or
That's
something like that.
probably the thing that started because, hey, you can tell your kids that they've got this big party to go to, and we can guarantee there's no booze or drugs there, or mostly guarantee that there's no booze or drugs there,
Yeah, you're right.
and minimize the sex.
Yeah, minimize.
I mean,
Oh,
schools are big.
I don't even want to imagine.
Kids find corners. High school boys are not known for their staying ability.
That's true.
Um, so some comic news,
Yeah.
some world news. Jenny Sparks from The Authority is making a return to the DC universe in a series penned by Tom King. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. Eisner nominees are out, and every year we have more friends on the nominee list.
Definitely.
This year we have 15 guests are nominated, and we've got a couple more guests that are booked that were nominated. So just the quick rundown. Kelly Thompson actually leads the way with most nominations. She's been on the show a couple of times and she's coming back. She's nominated for Best Continuing Series, Birds of Prey, Best Limited Series, The Call, Best New Series, Black Cloak, Best Humor Publication, It's Jeff, the Jeff Verse. And when you're nominated for that many things, you also get nominated for Best Writer. And man, does she deserve it for all of them. Tom King is nominated for Best Short Story, World's Finest Part 1. That of the wonderful panel where Lizzie says, "Can I ride up in front this time? I promise I won't press the ejector button again, even if it was really funny when you tried to fly."
Funny.
Um, and Best Continuing Series, Wonder Woman. Joshua Williamson is up for single issue Superman 2023 Annual. Patrick Horvath, Best New Series, Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks, which I put to here as a together thing, even though they've only been on the show separately. So that actually means that we've got another It's 17 people who have been on the show that are up for Eisner nominees. Um, are up for Best New Series Local Man. Erica Henderson is up for both Best Publication for Teens, Danger and Other Unknown Risks, and Best Graphic Album, Parasocial. We've also had Alex DeCampi, the writer of Parasocial, on the show. Julio Anta is up for Best Publication for Teens, Frontera. Scott Dunbier is up for Best Anthology for Comics for UK and Best Archival Collection Project Comic Books for Michael Golden's Marvel Stories Artist Edition. Pornsack Pichashode is up for Best Graphic Album Reprint, The Good Asian. Liam Sharp is up for Best Painter Multimedia Artist Interior Art. Matt Hollingsworth and Dave McCaig, both guests of the show, are up for Best Coloring. Hassan Atsmain El How is up for Best Lettering. I'm really, really happy about this one. David Harper, who was kind enough to join us a while ago, is up for Best Comics-Related Periodical Journalism for Sketched. His off-panel podcast is also fantastic. Nominated that we did for a 2000 AD book club, Ballad of Halo Jones, the full color omnibus, which was a Alan Moore and Ian Gibson comic and edited by Olivia Hicks. And soon to be on the show, Ethan S. Parker, Griffin Sheridan, and Robert Quinn are nominated for Best Limited Series for Kill Your Darlings. Also soon to be on the show, Eddie Campbell is nominated for the Will Eisner Hall of Fame. So
Great.
when I look at lists like that, I'm like, wow, Tyler, you and I have done something.
We've done something. Yeah.
We've made this nice little archive of coolness.
Yeah, I agree.
In the real world, did you did you see how fast things got real in terms of presidential debates?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it, you know. Biden or Trump has been saying for weeks, you know, anywhere, anytime, any place, not
Yep.
seeming to understand that anywhere and any place mean the same thing. But
I did notice that.
I think it was Wednesday morning, Biden dropped a thing where he essentially, not essentially, he told Trump to bring it on, make my day, pointed out that he kicked his ass twice 2 years or 4 years ago, and that Trump hasn't debated anybody since then, and then had the final biting shot of, I hear you're free on Wednesdays,
That
which
was
of
funny.
course is the off day in his New York trial. Trump,
Yeah.
in his hubris, said, absolutely, I agree. I don't care where, I don't care what the rules are. So CNN stepped up really quickly and said, we'll take the first debate. How about June, I think 27th? So it's like right around the corner. Biden said, we don't want an audience. We want the moderator to have the ability to kill the microphones if people are talking when they're not supposed to. And CNN said, that sounds good to us. And Trump agreed to it, possibly without reading it, because he doesn't seem to like that, which raises the question, can he even do it?
Can he even do it? I'd be surprised if he. I would not be
I mean,
surprised
it would explain
if he
some of the
can't.
spell. It would explain some of the spelling errors and
Yeah.
the all caps if he was actually just using talk to speech for all of his tweets.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
You know, I would explain a lot if it turned out that he couldn't read.
Or at least
Oh.
dyslexic. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something. There's definitely a
The word is
deficiency there.
dementia. He has dementia. He absolutely positively has dementia. You can see the progression since he stepped into the political sphere of
Mm-hmm.
his dementia. You can massively see the progression if you look back to the beginning days of The Apprentice, and you can massively see the dementia if you look back at like interviews he did in the 80s. His cognitive skills have gone to shit. His vocabulary is it like a fourth grade level? He, used to have a legit adult vocabulary. Um, yeah, he has dementia.
Yeah.
He has dementia. It's that simple. Uh, so this is one of those rare months where we're actually gonna talk about all of the new to order books that we wanted to highlight because we won't even do our normal number of them now, and we'll get through all the ones that we had for this month. So,
Mm-hmm.
so Tyler, let me share my screen since I forgot to earlier.
Sure.
And why don't you tell us about this?
Free Agents.
Yeah, number
Number
one,
one from Kurt Busiek and Fabian Nicieza.
Nikeza,
And
I think.
how is it pronounced?
I think it's Nikeza.
Nikeza. And Stephen Mooney and Triona Farrell. They fought every day of their existence and won a terrible victory. Now they're stranded on Earth, free agents for the first time. But when relics from their long war appear, threatening their chance at better lives, their greatest battle begins. They fought for a million planets. Can they save? Can they fight to save their own souls? This looks really cool. The art looks awesome. Um, I'm excited for it.
What's the movie series about the like um old action stars?
Movie series about old
Is
action
it
stars.
the Replaceables, or
Um,
you know what I'm talking about?
the Expendables.
Expendables, yeah. The one that like pretty much everybody who's been in an 80s action movie has now done it, including Schwarzenegger once he was done being governor.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like the Expendables version of the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does. I'm
So
not trying to
no,
knock it,
no, I
but
mean that in a good way. Because I mean I haven't watched any of the Expendables movies, but I kind of like the concept. I keep thinking about watching one because I like the concept. It could be delivered on. And that's where you trust Busiek and Nikeza. So
uh
it's good art. So all right. So why don't you tell us about a graphic novel? This was even
yeah,
up for an Eisner Award.
it was. Are You Willing to Die for the Cause by Chris Oliveros. The critically acclaimed graphic novel by Quebec's contentious history by the founder of D&Q is now
Drawn and
in
Quarterly.
paper. Oh, yeah. Founder of Drawn Quarterly is now in paperback. It started in 1963 when a dozen mailboxes in a wealthy Montreal neighborhood were blown to bits by handmade bombs. By the following year, a guerrilla army trained camp was set up deep in the woods with would-be soldiers trained for armed revolt. I like the cover. The artwork looks really
Yeah.
little kiddish kind of, but also I I like it. I really
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Fantagraphics Underground brings us Cutting Season
Mhm.
from Banu Pratap. Cutting Season features 16 short stories that collectively showcase the singular style and vision of New Delhi cartoonist Banu Pratap, seamlessly blending distortion, abstraction, romance, sex, body horror, isolation, violence, color, humor, and a seductive sense of design and composition. Whereas the artist puts it, love, gags, shit, holes, crashes, and bodies. Cutting Season is an unnerving and sustained howl in comics form that demands attention like a raw, exposed nerve. And
Looks
then
cool.
another graphic novel from Calderon de la Barca with Ricardo Vilbor, Alberto Sanz, and Mario Sabelis. Life is a Dream. The classic allegory by Calderon de la Barca, now a full color graphic novel, focusing on Segismundo, Prince of Poland. The central argument is the conflict between free will and fate. Sigismund, Prince of Poland, has been imprisoned in the tower since the day he was born by his father, King Basilio, following a grim prophecy that the prince would bring disaster to the country and death to the king. While King Basilio has doubts, he finally frees his son, but with his newfound liberation, the prince goes on a rampage, behaving like a wild animal as was prophesied. Captured and imprisoned once more, Basilio is able to convince Sigismund that his experiences of freedom were but a dream. The citizens of the kingdom, however, remember the truth, now viewing their king as monstrous for his actions against his son. A rebellion ensues. Life is a Dream is Calderon's best known and most studied work. The adaptation contains bonus material, the full text of the classic work, as well as a study and discussion guide, and it's coming out from Ablaze. How about some collections, Tyler?
Yeah, we've got Berserker from Keanu Reeves and Matt Kint and artist Ron Garney. The man known only as B is a half mortal, half god, cursed and compelled to violence, even at the sacrifice of his sanity. But after wandering the world for centuries, B may have finally found a refuge, working for the US government to fight the battles too violent and too dangerous for anyone else. In exchange, B will be granted the one thing he desires, the truth about his endless, blood soaked existence and how to end it. After wandering the world anew and enduring a series of experiments and missions, the memories of B's origins will finally be restored. But what does this revelation mean for his future? Written by iconic creator Keanu Reeves and New York Times bestselling writer Matt Kint, and illustrated by acclaimed artist Ron Garney, the deluxe hardcover edition collects the entire initial 12-issue maxi series. Witness the full brutal journey from start to finish of the international bestseller with over 1 million copies sold. Yeah, that looks
Hey.
awesome. I've only read the first issue of Berserker. I didn't keep
I
going
think
with
I've
it.
done like 8.
Yeah.
I have all 12, but I fell behind and
Did
haven't
you?
haven't like I mean, one of the problems is anytime I fall behind more than a couple of issues, it becomes hard to go catch up just because of how much I read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, no, I definitely keep meaning to go back and like do the whole thing, but I haven't. Couple of books now available to order from a friend of the podcast, Zach Kaplan. Um, if you were waiting on Beyond Real trade waiting, you can get your orders in now. Question reality. When struggling artist June is injured in a severe car accident that leaves her boyfriend in a coma, she begins to experience strange visual phenomena. Soon she's able to see that we are all actually living in a computer simulation. June must set out on a journey of possibility and peril into the metaphysical layers of the simulation to reach the world's creator and save her true love from death. Zach Kaplan is joined by a slate of spectacular artists, including Fabiano Mascolo, Tony Fajula, Jordi Belair, Vincenzo Riccardi, Dennis Menhir, Jorge Corona, Luana Vecchio, and Liana Kangas, with cover from John Pearson. I love this book.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was one of my early favorites for um, best miniseries this year
Mm-hmm.
for our choice of 3 at the end, and uh, I think it's still there. God damn it, there have been too many good books already this year because I was all but certain that it was going to be Beyond Real, Animal Pound, and um, Man's Best, but then I read things like what's the furthest place from here?
Right?
you know. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Fun. Such a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Um and then going back in time on Zach, one of his earlier series, The Port of Earth is getting a full-on hardcover deluxe edition. An alien arrival saga like you've never seen. What if aliens came to Earth not in war or peace, but with a business deal? Open a spaceport here on Earth in exchange for advanced technology. But when rogue alien visitors wreak havoc in our cities and strange alien threats emerge, the newly formed Earth Security Agency must answer the call to keep Earth and the port safe. Now facing a deadly alien outbreak, a growing human resistance to the port, and a delicate relationship with our alien port partners, the ESA's leaders and agents must balance between protecting humans and alien visitors alike or risk planetary occupation. An exciting, gritty, and politically charged action thriller from Zach Kaplan and Andrea. So
It was
yeah,
really good. I really liked Port
I
of
did too.
Earth.
I did too. Final order cutoffs this week. We've got Big Burn, #1 from Joe Henderson and Lee Garbett at Distillery. If you're a G.I. Joe guy, Destro #1 from Dan Waters and Andrea Brisson at Image. Friday, Book 3, Christmas Time is Here Again from Ed Brubaker and Marcos Martin at Image, wrapping up their panel syndicate. Amazing, like post YA series. And then Self-Help #1 from Jesse Kellerman, Owen King, and Mariana Ignazi at Image. Owen is Steven's other son, along with Joe Hill. It was actually Rob Nyer that put this one on my radar. So I'm looking forward to that. Crowdfunding right now. We've still got a couple more weeks left to contribute to the 2024 Insert Name Comics and Zine Fest from Ryan Carey and Emily Mayer on Kickstarter. That'll be up in Minneapolis in, I think, October this year. I gotta look again.
Okay.
Free for All, Patrick Horvath on Zoop through May 31st. Wild Guys #1, a mob themed parody comic from Pat Shand and Ralph Tedesco on June 9th. And you can check out our recent conversation with Pat Shand. Now, Patrick Horvath has also been on the show, as have Ryan and Emily. And then Junior Daddy Issues. Daddy Issues, numbers 2 to 5. From James III, Timothy Gathers, Jess Havoc, Paris Allain, Noel Kelly, Jamal Eagle, Juan Castro, William Demerit from Rule of 3 on Kickstarter through June 9th as an add-on. Issue 1 with art by Marcus Kwame Anderson is available. So what did you love this week, Tyler?
Oh, Peach Momoko had a new book out for Ultimate X-Men #3.
Okay.
She's killing it on this book.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was going to be an individual stories focusing on each character, but I was wrong. It is an overarching story.
Sometimes that's how you start, though. You like introduce the characters and then tie it all together. So very cool.
Yep. And then, of course, like we talked about last week, my obsession with intellectual properties like Masters of the Universe, Revolution #1 from Rob David, Tim Sheridan, Ted Biaselli, and Daniel HDR from Dark Horse. And then Fish Flies #6 from Jeff Lemire and Sean.
This was a cool twist.
Art this time by Sean Curunero.
At least for the interior sequence.
Loved it.
Lemire still did a bunch of it, but yeah, no, that was a cool twist that I didn't really see coming on this story, but liked.
Yeah, I agree. It's very good. You got to be reading Fish Flies.
I'm still waiting. I'm anxiously awaiting his announcement of. I mean, because keeps teasing. He's doing something at Boom that will be 30 some odd issues. But he hasn't said.
I can't. Well, whatever it is, I can't wait.
Yeah, he hasn't made the official announcement of what it is. It's just he's writing and drawing, and it's a planned extended series.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I absolutely cannot wait for that.
Well, I almost put your #3 as my #3.
Did you?
Almost. It was so good.
So you read it too? So good.
Yep. Yeah. And I read your #2 as well, but it just didn't catch me like #1 did. Anyway,
I mean,
go on.
I mean, it was definitely a transitionary issue, but I mean, my top, as I expected, and he never lets me down. Briar #5, Christopher Cantwell, Alex Lins. Holy fuck, does this series continue to be just
awesome,
outstanding?
Yeah, I got to catch up. I'm on issue 3.
So you didn't even finish up the first arc.
Not yet.
You had like a year, man.
I know. They've been sitting in my pile.
They had to find a new artist.
I know. It's funny.
And then Uncanny Valley #2. I understand what you're saying, that it didn't have quite the punch of the first issue, but it's a transitionary issue. This is, the first issue was the grabber. This was the, okay, let's explain a little bit more of what's going on, and then we'll
Correct.
really take off, I imagine, in the next issue.
Yep.
And then Sanction #1 from Ray Fox and Antonio Fuso at Mad Cave, still killing it. Mad Cave killing it. I mean, Boom killing it too, but Boom's been killing it longer now, so it's not quite as big news. Yeah, this is like a murder mystery in Soviet Russia with like political intrigue going on.
Yep.
Very, very interesting to see where this goes. So
Cool.
we took our first foray, at least for great responsibility's sake, into nonfiction comics today.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess not quite, because we did our Constitution way back when. Before we talk about Twilight Man, I was going to suggest, though, you want to do a couple more weeks where we do one that's a memoir and one that's nonfiction, but also not biography.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because I actually, in some ways, I would love to do a few where it's nonfiction but not biography, because I think people often like underestimate the number of different subjects that you can deal with in comics.
I agree.
Because I want to do at least one where it's not only not biography, but it's not really history.
True. Yep.
One that's more explaining things than I mean, because again, people assume history, but they don't always assume like economics or math. There are comics that teach math. There are comics that teach logic. There are comics that teach science. And sometimes in really interesting and granular ways. So we'll talk more about that off the air, but I wanted to get it out there as an idea.
For sure. So, I like that idea.
This time, though, we did, I think this was one of the first of the Humanoids Life Drawn series. Life Drawn is Humanoids kind of has 3 or 4 type of wings, though I think a couple of them have kind of Humanoids reprints a lot of European material. Humanoids had their H2 superhero universe for a while, though I think that has kind of gone by the wayside. Humanoids for a while had well, I think they still have a big something line that's like their kids books. And then they have what they call Life Drawn. And the Life Drawn is like a mixture of fiction and nonfiction, but really human stories. It tends towards biography or autobio work. Or when it's fiction, it's like a real world slice of life type stuff. So for this one, we got to explore the life of Rod Serling, who I think everybody still remembers is the power behind the Twilight Zone. But I know before I read this the first time, I hadn't realized how influential he had been on just television in general.
I know. Same here. This was my first time reading it, and it makes me want to go read an actual biography of him. And
this is an actual biography. Don't you dare play that card.
You know what I mean? Traditional.
A broader, maybe.
Yeah. A traditional written book. Yeah. But anyway, this was really good.
I mean, you could take that traditional. I mean, this is concise. I'm certain you could tell more of his life,
Hmm.
but there are comics biographies that dive into lives as much as traditional biographies.
Yeah, you're right.
They tend to be longer than this one, but there are also prose biographies that only deal with a specific aspect of a life. So I have to push back. It's the teacher in me that like has been fighting so hard in so many areas for no, no, no. Not only is comics reading, there are things that comics are as good or better at from an educational standpoint, which isn't to say that you shouldn't read a prose biography, because I'm certain that there are more prose biographies of Rod Serling
Yeah.
than there are comics biographies. But I'm gonna hit you with that actual like over the head, man.
But no, this was really good. I really liked, like you talked about the framing of
Yeah.
the story, and we started off seeing Rod on an airplane chatting with the person next to him, and who asks, she notices his World War II
Right.
bracelet and wants to know some stories.
Right.
And so that's the setup of the book is
Set up as
she's
this long flight where, they both forgot to bring a book to read and they got to entertain themselves.
yeah,
Um,
back when you could smoke on planes.
right. Which is a great setup to begin with. But I mean, one of the things that this did that you cannot do well in prose and call it a biography was that it wound up being a Twilight Zone-y frame where
Uh-huh.
he actually winds up telling of his death and going, wait, I'm dead, and then realizing that this plane is like his plane to whatever's next.
Yeah. It's like the in between, you know.
Right. um so then it becomes this whole thing has been a like weighing of his life. um
Hmm.
because well overall it's presented in a very fair, non-judgmental biographical way. You do get to see things like he really suffered from PTSD for his entire life and was working
Uh-huh.
through what the war had done. And in throwing himself in his work, he neglected his family. And it becomes a lot of, what was worth it, what was not. Which,
Right.
as a reader, you're thinking most of the time when you're doing a biography to begin with, but it's another place where, in a written biography, you would have had to go off on huge tangents about the wife and, how she felt being at home, or you'd have to be judgmental and say, oh, while he was doing all this stuff, his wife was home alone and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Whereas here you could have a panel or two where she's like, Rod, we miss you.
Yep. Exactly.
You're spending more nights at the office than home in bed with me. Um, and I think that adds a level of humanism that I'm not saying is impossible in prose, but it's one of the reasons that I love graphic novel biographies and autobiographies is they take lives, and rather than just being a collection of dates and accomplishments and whatnot, they add a level of depth
Hmm.
and emotion that I feel like isn't impossible to get in prose, but is harder when you're writing it as nonfiction than writing it as fiction.
Hmm.
Does that
I
make sense?
agree. Yeah. We didn't even
Um,
talk about the author yet. This is Corinne Shadme.
I
Shadme.
don't even really know the author
I
other
don't
than
either.
this.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh, but I really like their artwork. They did the
yeah,
artwork as well. It's done in a black and gray scale, no color, which I think works well to put you in that time frame of when this story takes place. You know what I mean? That was what TV looked like at the time. That's what the Twilight Zone looked like when you were watching it. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed this story. I didn't know it was about Rod Serling when you suggested it. I
When
just
I gave the list, you just picked a title.
I liked the title of it, and
Yeah.
I
That's actually one of the reasons that I just gave you a list,
mhm.
because I know you well enough to know that you were going to make the pick without like even trying to figure out what the books were.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that. I really liked going completely blind.
so if you actually look at that list, and here I'll pull it up because we might be able to take other stuff off of it.
Sure.
As goes to our previous conversation about what to do next.
Hmm.
I gave a number of very different books on that list.
Hmm.
Banned Book Club is a history, but it's about like a particular moment in time.
Hmm.
Twilight Man is this. It's a biography of Rod Serling. Economics is in some ways almost an economics textbook, only in cartoon form. Radical, My Year with a Socialist Senator is autobiographical memoir. The Bridge is the story of the building of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Uh-huh.
Did you hear what Eddie Gein done? Is obviously the
Ed Gein, yeah.
yeah, Ed
Or
Gein.
do
And
you?
then
I almost picked that one because
yeah,
I enjoy serial killers.
yeah.
I know it sounds terrible.
That was the one that I was mostly expecting you to pick. I was kind of surprised. I almost didn't put that on the list because I thought it was
Two on the nose, and that's why I
so
did.
likely that you'd pick it. Right.
That's honestly that's why I'm like, okay, I'm going to skip that one because
I love it. I love
that
it
did
because go ahead. I'm sorry.
that did go through my head of
Eh,
going. Do I read the Ed Gein book or do I pick something that I'm unfamiliar with?
right.
And
Well, and I love it because I mean part of what I feel like I'm sometimes doing with the just because you have a much stronger tie to superheroes than I do with comics.
sure.
Sometimes I feel like what we're doing with great responsibility is I'm pushing Tyler's boundaries, trying very hard to
Ah,
find things that he will like to expand his vision of comics. Because
ah,
I think in a theoretical sense,
uh-huh,
you have the same vision of comics that I do,
uh-huh.
that it can do all sorts of things and whatnot, but I mean particularly when you drop the things like an actual biography, it's like but we haven't completely like won him over yet. He doesn't have the it ingrained in his head that comics as a medium is like this full on, not bastard stepchild, not
I did
whatever.
not. Yeah, and I think you're taking that way too literally when I said actual biography. I was just thinking of a word to describe the difference between written
No,
prose
no,
and a comic
Tyler,
book. Yeah. So,
My commentary is not at all on you being, because even 5 years ago, I likely would have said the same thing. I think there are a lot of things that we say based on the way we've been conditioned.
yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't saying that you were slamming comics. I was saying that when you looked for a word because of the way the world thinks,
Yep.
that word popped into your head as an appropriate one. And
Mm.
like 90% of the world wouldn't have even skipped a heartbeat. I knew exactly what you meant. I'm just like in the 1 to 5% of the world that cringes rather than going, yeah, okay, I get it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
not personal, Tyler. It's I'm trying to change the world and I'm starting with you.
All right. Sounds good. Well,
Um, anything else that you loved about Twilight Man
I, I
as
think
we go off on our weird.
I think we captured the essence of it. I think it it really harkens back to the golden age of television.
Yeah.
Um, and it makes you feel that. For me, it felt like I was watching an episode of the show in the aesthetic of the book. You know
Well,
what I
and
mean?
I think he also did a very good job with um acting, particularly among um like secondary characters. You know, you always got a real feel for how the people around Serling were looking at Serling.
Hmm.
You could get a feel for what level of unhinged he was at any given time by how the people who were even being supportive of him would um sometimes just have, it's like they're being supportive, but at the same time they're I mean, I brought up specifically the wife with when you can see that they're concerned even as they're happy for him.
Hmm.
I really liked that. And
For sure.
as I go through I'm gonna share my screen again because I'm at Corin's website and I feel like we could happily read half of his books
For
because
sure.
he did a Bela Lugosi book.
Well, that would be good.
He's got a book with David Kushner about um, a hacker collective.
Okay.
Uh, he's
Bionic.
got Bionic is that's a fiction coming of age tale for digital generation. Twilight Man, we already looked at. Highwayman looks like another uh, sci-fi type thing.
Hmm.
He's got a biography of Gary Gygax, the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
This one's actually I completely forgot because I either have this or I've been looking at it for a while. Book called Love Addict: Confessions of the Serial Dater.
That's cool. I like the cover a lot.
Yeah.
Cool.
True story of love, blues, and terror in Tel Aviv. Mike's
Mike's
place.
place. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah,
Well,
we might have to dig deeper into Corin at some point.
hmm, I
See
really want to
this?
read that Anarchy book. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, not immediately, because I want to. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
immediately,
Yeah.
but um,
Well, the
but
Bela
yeah,
Lugosi
no,
book would be
that's
really cool too.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
See, this is what we do. This is why exploring random stuff is cool, because then you discover that there's there's more random stuff that stems from that. So, should we get into what we hope will be spectacular?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm going to start with the one that I know is spectacular, but people who didn't pre order can actually pick it up in bookstores this week. My favorite thing is Monsters Book 2. Oh my
Okay.
God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do I love this book? Um, yeah. And then after that, I'm deeply looking forward to Man's Best #3 from
Hmm.
Pornsack Pisciotte and Jesse Lonergan, Feral #3 from Tony Fleeks and Trish Forstner, and Blow Away #2 from Zach Thompson and Nicola Izzo. Also,
All three of those I considered putting on my list until
right,
last night. I sat down and looked at your list, and I'm like, oh, no,
right.
I should definitely think beyond
See, you've
that.
got Beyond Real on your list. I didn't see that as coming out this week.
Did I?
Did I miss it? Let me.
Maybe I grabbed it from.
Well, I almost have to rethink my list if I manage to skip it. But I've got it as May 29th.
Oh, the next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though I don't know if Vault is one of the ones that comes out differently for um Lunar.
Hmm.
So while you tell us about your books, I'll find that out.
Sure. Well, my next up, and I'm just going to replace this, was Holy Roller number 6.
Oh,
What'd you say? What?
oh no. Beyond Real actually, yeah, is both the 29th and it's a week later through Lunar. It's June 5th if your store's getting it through Lunar.
Oh, okay. So it's definitely not coming out.
Right.
But yeah,
Probably be
then
on both of our lists next week.
my replacement for Beyond Real number 4 for next week would be Holy Roller number 6, Andy Samberg. I'm really, and Rick Remender, I'm really enjoying this book. It's really cool. Yeah. And then Local Man number 10 from Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks.
Looking
I
forward
really
to that
like
too.
I really like this combination of both of them writing.
Yeah.
And because and I'm looking forward to Tony Fleek's book, Feral, that you've got on your list. And then my last book is Blue Book 1947 number 4 from James Tynion the Fourth and Michael Avon Oeming from Dark Horse.
Mike's coming back soon.
That's awesome.
Right around the corner.
That's awesome. We can talk to him about Blue Book 47.
By right around the corner, I think possibly Tuesday. Let's look at that schedule really quick. There's some other good books coming out too. We got Stephanie Phillips has a couple books. We got Grimm and Black Widow, or Hawkeye Black Widow rather. Thank you, Eddie. You are so helpful. My cat has decided that like he needs to help me type. Yes, it is Tuesday the 21st. We will have Michael Avon Oeming back with us. Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, we've got a bunch of good stuff this week. So people should tune in and enjoy. Oh, Stephanie Phillips also has her first Spider-Gwen out this week.
Okay.
White Boat from Scott Snyder and Francisco Francavilla has its first issue this week. And Wonder Woman, Tom King, and Star Trek Defiant, Chris Cantwell, both continue to kill. And it just shows how hard it is to make our top 3 lists when we manage to do 6 different books between us and leave books that good off the list.
I know. I think the same thing. I'm like, man, there's so much good stuff out, and we're only putting on a fraction of what's awesome.
But if we actually managed to talk about all of it the way we wanted to, we'd have a 4-hour podcast every Saturday, and your wife would kill you.
I know.
So why don't you wrap us up, and then we'll figure out what we're going to read for next week.
Sure. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. It's been awesome. And we'll catch you guys after the next page. Later.
Hey, guys. This is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.